Greetings everyone, this is Danny from HarrTravel.com, your Royal Caribbean cruise experts, and today I'm on board the beautiful Quantum of the Seas. This incredible ship has something for everyone, and we're going to take you through all the public spaces here on board. Now keep in mind, when you're ready to book your next Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, or Silver Sea cruise, make sure you do it right on HarrTravel.com. You can take advantage of the interactive deck plans to pick the perfect room or suite for you, your friends, family, or group at an incredible value, and of course, get the Harr Travel signature service every step of the way. Now, the Quantum of the Seas is the first of the class. In fact, she's the namesake of the Quantum class of ships, and she has several things that no other cruise ship in the world does. Just behind me is actually the North Star. It's up in the air today. We're in Alaska, and there's so many features here that were specifically designed with Alaska in the mind, just like the Radiance class of ships as well. You've got a ton of glass, an enormous amount of viewing areas on board the ship. You have quite a few indoor spaces like the solarium pool and the Seaplex. We're going to take you through all of those. But the thing to know about the Quantum of the Seas is it is a dynamic, smart ship. Has all kinds of technological advances. The very first bionic bar will take you down there. But this is the perfect ship for so many of our guests in Alaska, Australia, the Caribbean, wherever in the world it sails. It's sure to be a crowd pleaser. Now we're currently up on deck 15. This is where you're going to find the walking track, and just below me you're going to find the main pool area. Now, one of the things that's unique about this particular ship with Royal Caribbean is you have several pool areas. You're going to have the kids pool area. They've got a mini wave pool, a splash pad, and I love the idea that they even have tiny loungers for the kiddos, so they can utilize that and get that similar experience as the adults. Now, all around underneath, you're going to have lounge style seating. You've got couches just underneath me right now. You're also going to find the swim vests, so you can utilize those if you need to for the pool. But one of the great things about the design of the pool is that it's set up above the deck. So you can see you have lounge chairs wrapped all the way around. It's perfect to take advantage of the large LED screen just behind me there. They'll do first run movies, all kinds of different entertainment options on the screen there. Now up here you also have the bandstand, so they're going to get this deck party rocking from time to time. You're going to really enjoy it. They'll get the music going. They've got all the lights as well. And then you can see just behind me you have two very large hot tubs. You're also going to have the sky bar. Now every great pool needs a great pool bar. That is one of them. And I wanted to start right now just talking about what makes this ship and all of Royal ships so special. The design is incredible, but it's the crew that are at the heart of all of it. They are here to take amazing care of you. They love what they do, and they tell us all the time that they're so happy to be back here on board, especially in this incredible setting of Alaska. Now down below, you're also going to find that you have some more seating areas that wrap all the way around, and then just behind that is the solarium. We'll take you in there in just a minute. But I wanted to look just above the sky bar to where you're going to find the North Star bar. Now the North Star was designed specifically for this ship. It's been on all the Quantum class ships because it is such an incredibly popular option. What it is it's a giant crane arm. In fact, it's up in the air now, so you're hundreds and hundreds of feet above. From there, you can see all the glaciers around Skagway here. It's an incredible experience, and I love the idea that they designed it specifically for Alaska. Now, one of the upgraded excursion options that you can do is to do the North Star in the glaciers. When you head up that incredible fjord, the glaciers at the end of it, you can imagine that that is not only a spectacular experience, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience that you're going to take with you forever. Now, one of my favorite bars on this ship is actually the North Star bar. So of course you can grab a drink and relax there if you'd like, before or after heading up to the North Star, but it's also a great place to stop by anytime. From there, you get great views of the pool deck down below. You can see the large LED screen, and then they also have a really nice large lounge seating area just below that. So all of this comes together to wrap up the outdoor space here on the pool deck, but because this ship was designed with inclement weather in mind, whether you're going to the coldest parts of the world or the warmest, you can use this ship and get an incredible experience. Now, one of the things that I really like about this ship is the really large walking and jogging track. It goes all the way around deck 15. In fact, it goes all the way to the front, has a little bit of a ramp up. So it's one of the largest in the fleet. Now, right here as we walk further back, what you're seeing behind me is the Seaplex. It's a really, really dynamic entertainment zone. I'm going to take you in there in just a minute, but I wanted to point out that you do have all these lounge chairs here on the outside looking out at the views, and you're going to have it all the way around deck 15. Now, I want to show you something unique about the Quantum class vessels Each and every one of them has a massive statue like this behind me. Now this particular one is a polar bear. Though there aren't polar bears in Alaska, this ship was designed for cold weather cruising or warm weather cruising, as I mentioned. But you can see behind me, it is absolutely massive. It's a really unique thing as well. You can imagine putting that on a cruise ship, doing all the balancing and the technology that goes with all of that is really something special. Now, just after that, you're going to find one of the Royal Caribbean favorites, and that, of course, is the rock climbing wall. It first debuted on the Voyager of the Seas. It's been a massive hit. It's been on every single ship since then. This particular one has several different routes that you can take up. A couple of them a little bit easier, some of them a little bit more difficult, as you can tell here. Now, on this rock climbing wall, they also have some unique kids features here. You can see the little panda bear and the dinosaurs. Once again, Royal Caribbean is a family-focused cruise line. There's something for every single member of the family. We have a ton of multi-generational groups that'll come on, with the littlest kiddos to the grandparents and everything in between. Now, this is a complimentary feature, and that's a theme with Royal Caribbean. You're gonna find so many things on board here where you don't pay extra, which is a big difference from a lot of their competitors. Now, as we head further back, you have something that you will only find on Royal Caribbean. That is Ripcord by iFly. Now, we're gonna take you up there in a minute. This is indoor skydiving. It's such a cool thing to do. I've done it on this ship. In fact, I got to do it, I think it was the second or third cruise out ever. But what I wanted to point out is if you're using the Flow Rider, you're using the rock climbing wall, or the Ripcord by iFly, you're gonna need to do your waiver. So essentially, if you are a kid, the parents are gonna need to come and sign it with them. Basically, it's just about safety, release of liability, those types of things, which are standard in this case. But it is really, really important that you come up and do that because the kids are not going to be able to do it on their own. And then of course, the adults need to do it before they take advantage of those activities. It's all about safety and security here on board Royal Caribbean. And this is just one of those touches. Now, after you complete the waiver at the desk here, if you're doing the Ripcord by iFly, you're gonna head on over. So right in here is the briefing room. When I went skydiving with a real airplane, I had the exact same thing. They're gonna show you a little video, talk about the safety, the techniques, exactly what you're gonna need to utilize. Then you're next gonna head over to this spot. They're gonna get you that flight suit. Takes me back to my days at the Air Force Academy. I absolutely love it, but you've got the helmets, you've got all the different size flight suits. In fact, on this ship, they can start skydiving as young as 4 years old. Once you do that, you're gonna head back, you're gonna store all of your things. They've got your shoes for you as well. I love the idea that it's all set up, looks like an airplane, just like mentioned when I went skydiving out of a real airplane. You're gonna head over here, do the final safety briefing, and then you're gonna head right up the stairs and start the fun. Now, as we wrap around the aft to the port side of the ship, we're gonna head into the Seaplex here in just a minute. I did wanna point out, you can see a couple more ships in the distance. You've got the Disney Wonder, Holland America's Noordam. We have those tours as well if you wanna check them out on the channel. But you can see here, it's the most spectacular setting in the entire world as far as I'm concerned. You've got the snow-capped mountains all around, and this ship is designed to capture those views, whether you're in one of the suites in the aft, throughout the entire ship. You're sure to love your time here in Alaska on the Quantum. Now, we just headed up the stairs and you can see behind me the incredible Ripcord by iFly right there. There's a few people flying in there right now having an absolute blast. And as you can imagine, flying while you're in Alaska, just like going up on the North Star or surfing on the Flow Rider, this is such an incredible opportunity here with Royal Caribbean. Now, if you love to skydive, you're gonna enjoy it. They have different speeds and ways that they can kind of crank it up just a little bit or down. So if it's the littler kids, it's gonna be a little bit less. If you want a little more, you can do that as well. You're gonna have the instructors with you. They're gonna go through all the details, whether this is your first time skydiving or your 100th time, you're sure to have a blast here on board. And think about that, you're skydiving on a cruise ship. Now, Royal Caribbean has so many firsts. Of course, that is a first at sea. You're also gonna find just behind me the Flow Rider Surf Simulator. Now, this is Taylor's favorite. You're sure to find him every single day here while we're on board. And right now, I'm not sure if you can see the setting, but we've got glaciers, beautiful snow-capped mountains behind us, and you can imagine boogie boarding or surfing here like this is spectacular. Now, this is a complimentary feature. They're gonna have different setups throughout the cruise, so they'll have more advanced. You can come and test your skills. They'll give you a special wristband so you can come back as often as you'd like and do it when you have the more advanced, or if you're a beginner, or for me personally, I love the boogie board option as well. Now, the very first Flow Rider was on the Freedom of the Seas. In fact, I was one of the very first guests ever on the pre-inaugural cruise to utilize it. It's been once again on every Royal Caribbean ship since because it's been such an enormous hit. Just one more thing here on board that doesn't cost any extra. It's all in your fare, so you can head back and enjoy anytime you'd like on the cruise. Now we're in the very aft of the ship. Those of you who've watched our channel know that is my favorite place to be. In fact, when we were sailing out of Icy Strait Point yesterday, we were on the back of the Royal Loft Suite. You got the hot tub here on the Quantum of the Seas. I definitely recommend that you check out the videos of those suites. They're absolutely spectacular. But for me personally, whenever I'm on a cruise ship, looking at the wake behind me is my favorite view. You can imagine sailing out of here in just a few hours. You're going to get amazing views down the fjord. They'll set up chairs around here so you have nice loungers. You've got some behind me as well. You can see the walking track continues all the way around the back. But for me, this is my favorite spot on the ship. Now, I did want to point out you have a staircase here. This is going to head down to the outdoor terrace just behind the windjammer. And what makes that so great is you're going to have those incredible views while you're dining as well. Now, in the aft of the Seaplex, you're going to find the Seaplex Doghouse. Now, this is where you can get hot dogs, brats, all of your favorites. Now, it debuted on the Oasis of the Seas, where you had the Boardwalk Doghouse. It was a huge hit. They've carried it over here, and I love it. Once again, another complimentary option. Maybe you're watching some sports. Maybe you're hanging out, getting ready to go on those bumper cars. You can grab a hot dog, dine in here, or head on out and enjoy. Now, just behind me, you've got the condiment station, and I did want to point out this Coca-Cola machine. Now, Royal Caribbean has a partnership with Coca-Cola. They have for quite some time. If you have the soda package or the beverage package, you're going to get a tumbler with an RFID chip in the bottom. It's going to read it right here. And so the way that that works, you can stop by anytime, grab a soda, and customize it to your preferences. You'll set the tumbler here. You can select, maybe you want Coke with cherry, maybe you want Dr. Pepper with lime, whatever it is that you like, whatever odd combination that's specifically yours, you can have that anytime. And for me personally, the best vacations are those where you can get what you want, when you want, customized to your preferences. Now, as we head further forward in the Seaplex, there's several seating areas. So you've got a seating area right here with some lounge space. And then as we continue further forward, you're gonna find the bumper cars. Now, once again, I've said it a few times already, this was a very first at sea, and my daughter has absolutely loved riding these while here on board. You can see a couple of them here. They've got doubles, so you can go along with your kiddos if you'd like. I was actually quite surprised. My daughter did all of the steering, and she really, really enjoyed it. Now, to the side here, you're gonna see the sport court. We're gonna take you there in just a minute, but once again, if you're gonna do the bumper cars, you just gotta come over, sign the quick waiver. They're gonna give you some safety instructions, and you'll go from there. Now, something really unique I did wanna point out here is this sign. This is the Star Class Priority line. Now, there's only 8 Star Class suites here on board, but the service is incredible. We've been hanging out with the Genie KK here on board. We've had an amazing time dining in the suites, going out and enjoying them. But that's one of the unique things about having Star Class is that priority access. It's a really incredible feature. Your kids can go time and time again if they like, or if you're like me, the adults can as well. Now, as we head further forward, I did want to point out on the far side there, up above, you're going to have an arcade. So there's a couple arcade zones here in the space itself. It's going to continue all the way back. You've got some ping pong. Up above me is the Xbox lounge. So you have lots of spaces that I wanted to point out are also incredible for viewing. Those jut out the side of the ship. They're a unique feature of the Quantum class. So if you're in the glaciers or you're in one of the scenic areas, you can head up there and get some incredible views or have some fun. So now I'm on the sport court itself. They set it up for all kinds of different things. So right now you can see they're setting it up for basketball. They also use it for pickleball. That's what they had just before. They're gonna have a little bit of football or soccer, if you will, in here. They'll play dodgeball. And of course, this is the same place where they're gonna use the bumper cars. But what I wanted to point out is all of this is climate controlled. When I talked earlier about it being designed for colder weather climates and warmer weather climates, if it's pretty warm outside, you've got air conditioning in here. If it's cold outside, you're gonna have heaters in here. So the Anthem of the Seas, one of the sister ships, sails out of New York like this used to. You can imagine leaving in the winter, it might be a little cool on the first day or two. Then you get down to the Caribbean. That's what this is all about. So they're gonna do contests. In fact, in a few minutes, they're gonna start a free throw contest. They'll do 3-on-3 tournaments. And growing up with my dad being a high school basketball coach for almost 40 years, we would always play in the tournaments. My brother, my dad, and I, we had a great time doing it. We absolutely loved it. In fact, let's see if I've got anything left in the tank. Oh, yeah, all right, well, that's pretty normal. I'll give it one more try. Yeah, no, that's about normal. All right, well, you guys know what's next. Let's check and see if the bank's open. What's the day today, Taylor? Is it Thursday? I think the bank should be open on a Thursday. Might be a holiday somewhere. It's closed. Well, all right, see, I knew it was open. All right, I gotta do it one more time just for our good friend Rick Berry, because, well, if I can't shoot overhand, it's time to try underhand. And there you go. Guess I gotta do that every time. Let's see if I can channel my inner Steph Curry here. There you go. What do you think? Now, just forward of the C-Plex, you're gonna find the entry to the suite sun deck. Now, if you're staying in a grand suite or above, or you're a Pinnacle member, you can utilize this space and the suite lounge here on board whenever you'd like on the cruise. Now, here in Alaska, you can see it is an incredible place to get some amazing views. It does wrap all the way around 270 degrees. You see you have these really nice day beds here. They're gonna have loungers wrapped all the way around. So it's a great place to come up for scenic cruising. If you're in a warmer weather destination, it's a great place to come up and do a bit of sunbathing. They will have drink service up here for you to utilize throughout. And also from here, you can see the LED screen. And of course, it's great for people watching with the pool decks down below and the North Star directly in front of it. It's a pretty cool thing to sit up here, watch the North Star go up and down, and check out the incredible scenery. And if I haven't mentioned it already, you really need to get to Alaska on a cruise, and this might be the perfect ship for that. Now, just in front of the C-Plex, you're gonna find the Fuel Teen Nightclub. Now, this is one of 2 spaces dedicated to the teens here on board. They'll also do activities around the ship. But the idea behind it is to give them that simulated adult style experience, but in a very safe manner. So I'm on the dance floor right here. You see all the different lights up above. They'll do dance parties in here. They'll do different activities as well. You've got some pub style seating on the far wall there where they can look out at the views. You've got the full DJ booth over to the side here. And then as we continue along, you're gonna find 4 televisions in here. They'll set it up for video games, maybe put on music videos during a dance party along those lines. And then as we transition a little further back, you've got more of that pub style seating, the TVs here as well. And a really nice touch is they have a Coca-Cola machine in here. I've always known as an educator for quite a few years that if every single member of the family is having a great time, it's certain to be a fantastic vacation, and teens are the hardest to please. So this is one of those fantastic spaces where they can go, hang out with other teenagers, have a great time in a safe manner. Now we're inside the living room. This is the space dedicated to the teens here on board to combine with the Fuel Nightclub. Now what you'll see in here is a really large space. Of course, Royal Caribbean is family focused, and they have a ton of space dedicated to the kids, which is great for every single passenger here on board. They're gonna have a blast in here, making new friends, meeting new people, and socializing. Now, there's several different zones in here. You see the foosball table there. They've got these areas that are tucked away with small seating, so maybe you're working on a laptop or a game or something like that, maybe even an art project. You can see they have lounge style seating here. These are really cool. They've got these recliners that are kind of built in and contoured. You can play video games, so that's just one of the video game station, one on either side. You've got 3 more video game stations here. They can move this out as well. It's an Xbox Connect, so you can do some of the dancing games, or I don't know, maybe Guitar Hero. I might be dating myself just a little bit there. You've got another foosball table here. You've got more of the lounge style seating. I really like the idea that they have a dedicated library in here. So if you're doing one of the longer cruises, or if you're a teen that likes to read, that was me, by the way, you can grab a book, read it in here, or even take it with you to enjoy throughout the cruise. You have a massive TV screen here where they'll do movie night, and then wrapped just around the corner there, they have a stage with another large screen just behind, so they can do movies, they can do video games, kind of competitions as well. There's one more of these recliner areas. I just wanted to hop in here to show you how cool it is, because this is the perfect way to play some video games. So from here, I can see the views of Alaska. I've got the screen right in front of me here. I can imagine playing a little Xbox in just a few, and actually, I think it's time for a nap. See you later, Taylor. On the starboard side of the pool deck, you're gonna find the noodle shop. Now, this particular space on other ships is occupied by different things. You might have like Ovation, where you have fish and chips, because they had a lot to do with the Australian market early on. This one actually was Johnny Rockets when the ship first came out and was sailing out of New York. It's been in Asia for the last 7 years. They added this, and I'm really excited to try it. You have noodles, you have dim sum, several different options. Inside, you're gonna have booth style seating. You have seating out here as well. And then out on this area, they'll also use it for some retail pop-up shops and different things along those lines as well. But just one more option to try here on board the Quantum. Now you all know the most important part of any cruise ship. Once again, it's not the engine, it's not the rudder, it is the soft serve ice cream. And here they deliver every single time. In fact, Julian knew that I was coming, so he knows that you can get a basic swirl, but who wants a basic swirl when you can make your own? You're the best chef in the entire world, Julian. I love it. All right, I'll be back in 10, like normal. Now set around the main pool area and the solarium pool, you're gonna find these towel stations. So all you have to do is bring your card, you'll tap it here, check out the towels. They also have blankets here that you can utilize because we're in Alaska. You can also bring them back and get them refreshed as often as you would like. And one of the things that I did want to point out, I love all the creativity of the crew members here on board. You can see my friend Bob and my friend Steve right there. They're just hanging out and they're pretty dry right now. Now just forward of the main pool, you're gonna find the solarium pool. In here you have a really nice large pool area, you've got a little toddler's pool area just behind, and you have 2 large hot tubs. Now what's great about that is this is indoors. It's kind of a bit of a greenhouse or a winter garden style. You're gonna have the full pool bar. In fact, I've been there a few times. It's that great place. You can grab a drink, relax if you wanna watch the kiddos swimming in the pool, or you can get in and enjoy yourself. Now it's a bit of stadium style, so on the tops here, you're gonna have the loungers facing in towards the pool. Wrapped all the way around, you're gonna have some lounge space with little couches, love seats, chairs, and tables where you can look out and take advantage of those incredible views. Yet again, one more spot that's perfect to view. Now I did want to point out this feature with the hot tub is the same with the pool. They're gonna have a lift. So those with accessibility needs, that's something that they can accommodate here on board. You're gonna find accessible cabins and suites. And then all of the major spaces do have the ability to utilize that. I really appreciate Royal Caribbean's dedication to those with accessibility needs. Now I also wanted to point out you're gonna have showers on either side in front of the hot tubs. Utilize those before and after you get in. Now up above me you have a really cool art feature. I even love that you've got the dive watch up there as well as the clock. This ship is absolutely stunning. I love all of the incredible artwork, and once again, from here, the insane views. Now as we continue to head further forward, you're gonna find the adults only solarium. I've mentioned this a few times already, and I probably will continue throughout, but they have spaces dedicated to each and every age group and each and every type of person with what they want to experience. The solarium here is going to be much quieter. The pool area is going to be much more of a party style zone with a great vibe. Maybe you're going to have some Caribbean music. Maybe you're going to have a dance party. So you can utilize that space, or if you want a little peace and quiet, you can come up here as well. Now this area is for 16 and up only, so you're not going to find the little kiddos in here. You've got beautiful lounge style seating all the way around on the sides, those extra comfy padded loungers. And then you have all kinds of lounge style seating here in the middle as well. Now this area is also climate controlled. So we're here in Alaska today. They've got the heat going just a little bit. It's another fantastic place to take advantage of incredible views. Now I did want to point out that this is 2 levels. So we're on the upper level right now on deck 14. You have a stairway that goes right down there to deck 13-ish. It's kind of like a half deck area just for the solarium. You're gonna have incredible wings where you can head off the side of the ship to view. I'll take you out there in just a minute. You have a couple hot tubs here, and then you have some of the best seats in the entire house. Now I love being in the aft of the ship, but I also love being in the front of the ship as well. You got those extra comfy loungers in the front looking out, and as we're heading into the glaciers tomorrow, you can imagine that's gonna be a prime spot for that. Now in here, you have speakers all the way around. They'll usually have some gentle music. They've got these faux palm trees and plants all the way around. And this also is a type of winter garden. So if you're sailing in Alaska, maybe you're sailing from New York or something like that, you're gonna have it warm, and then when you're in the warmer climates, it's gonna be air conditioned. Now another really cool feature about this particular solarium is you have this cascade waterfall style pool. Now it does have the clear glass there, so keep that in mind, but you see the upper pool there, and then it steps down to a couple other pools where you can sit, relax. There's some bench style seatings there. You can grab a drink and enjoy. Now, just like the other solarium, you're also going to have the showers, so make sure that you utilize the showers. You also have the accessible lift over there, and there's quite a bit of beautiful artwork in here as well. And if you're gonna have an adults only area, of course, you're gonna need the bar. So you can see the Sunshine Bar just behind me there. Some of the best bartenders in the business. The entire crew on our trip has been absolutely incredible. And this is a place where you can belly up to the bar, or they're gonna provide drink service all the way throughout. So in addition to the loungers, you've got these comfy chairs, you've got day beds, you've got a ton of seating options. But if you wanna get away on a sea day, or if you're in port and you're looking for a quieter zone, this is the spot for you. Now, set just above the wings of the bridge and just off the solarium, you're gonna find this observation area on either side. It's that perfect place if you wanna take your spouse up, maybe recreate a Jack and Rose moment. It's also perfect if you wanna come out and take some photographs wherever it is that you're sailing. Just another nice little touch where you can head on out, enjoy the fresh air, and of course, the incredible scenery. Set just inside the solarium, you're gonna find the Solarium Bistro. Now, this is one of my secret spots on boarding day. They'll do breakfast every single day in here. You can see the buffet line just behind me. They'll also have another one set up there. It's essentially what they're gonna have in the Windjammer, but not everybody finds this on the first day or even throughout the cruise. So for breakfast and sometimes lunch, you can come up here, have that class of casual buffet style dining, and then in the evening it transforms into a specialty restaurant of sorts. The big difference here is there's not an additional cost. It's a Mediterranean style restaurant, so it's not all plated service. They're gonna have the buffet there as well, where you can get some light bites, antipasties, things along those lines, and then of course, that incredible baklava for dessert. But what you're gonna find is some Mediterranean style dining options. It's a great alternative, and once again, another thing on board here that's not at an additional cost. So now we're headed into the Windjammer. This is Royal Caribbean's classic buffet that they've had on every single ship that they've ever built. Now, one thing that they added with this particular class of ships that I absolutely love is right at the front, they have an open bakery. So they're gonna have fresh cookies every time you walk by. But to me, it's that walking in and getting that intoxicating smell of those fresh baked cookies and of course the breads that really makes it. You can see a few options that they have laid out here. They also have some beautiful pastries that the chefs have put together. And then just on the other side here is a coffee shop. So they do have the coffee shop down below, La Patisserie. We'll take you there in just a bit. But right here, I just wanted to point out they have the full coffee shop. This is actually usually where I'll start my day each and every single morning. You can grab a coffee here. They've got all your favorite drinks, lattes, espressos, macchiatos, and then of course, specialty teas as well. But what this is all about is a casual dining buffet. It's gonna be open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner each and every single day. They've got the station set up. You can see here, not all of them are open. It's midday on a port day, so a lot of people are off the ship right now. So you've got the salad bar and fruits here. As we continue a little further back, you've got some sandwiches. They've got the panini press. They'll make them to order. I had an egg salad sandwich earlier. It was absolutely delicious. They've got quite a few options and soups here as well. As we continue further back, you're gonna have some international flavors. One of the things that Taylor and I really enjoy is they have fantastic Indian food here on board, which makes a lot of sense because they've got quite a few Indian chefs that know exactly what they're doing. So the international flavors will be mixed up throughout the time. They also had a Mexican fajita buffet here earlier as well. Now in the back, you're gonna find the favorites. So these are the classics that are available each and every single day. Right now, it looks like they got some mac and cheese, some pasta dishes. They also have pasta made to order as well. As we wrap further around on this side, I did want to point out this is where you're going to find the classic Americana. Now this is redundant, so they have the redundant services on either side, but you've got your hot dogs, burgers, you've got all the fixings here, and you can see they're grilling them up fresh. Now we all know that the most important part of the Windjammer is of course the dessert station. You see they've got coffee maker back there as well, but they're going to rotate the desserts throughout. I think I've tried all of them once or two or three times. We've got bread pudding today, pineapple tart, black forest cake, that raspberry pound cake, and blueberry streusel looks pretty good as well. But they're gonna keep it mixed and matched each and every single day. That's in compliments of all the fresh baked cookies in the front. Now there is a ton of seating here in the Windjammer. You're gonna have these booth style seatings. They've got tables for 2, 4, they've got the round booths that's wrapped all the way around the entire space. Now something that I did wanna point out, they do have some bar style seating looking out, but it's important to note that you have floor to ceiling windows here. It's absolutely stunning. We're in Alaska right now, as I mentioned. This is a great spot to get some incredible views in addition to all the other spots around the ship. Now I wanted to point out this because you're going to find these throughout the ship and the Windjammer. This is the complimentary drink station you can take advantage of any time that you'd like. So here you've got your ice and water stations. Sometimes I'll actually fill up the ice here to head down and ice the knees after a tour like this. But you've got the Nestle Vitality water, so they have infused waters. For lunch right now, you've got lemonade, iced tea, fruit punch. You're also gonna have the hot water station. You can come and maybe fill up your Yeti if you wanna have tea. And then over here, you're gonna have regular and decaf coffee. So this is the drip coffee to complement the espresso drinks that you can get in the front. Now here you're gonna have an assortment of different teas. Also gonna have hot chocolate, which is my family's all-time favorite. Now before we head outside and I show you my favorite part of the Windjammer, I wanted to take you to the very back of the Windjammer itself. Now on boarding day, this is a space that does get pretty full, but a lot of people don't go all the way to the back. That's my high recommendation for you. You have a whole nother food station here. Once again, this is a port day, so most people are off the ship right now here in Skagway, but this will open up as well. They'll have all kinds of food options, and a lot of times people don't even find it until the second or third day here on board. In the very back, you're gonna have more seating. They have these really nice large tables for 8 for families. In fact, my family had a Thanksgiving dinner in the very back of the ship here. You've got more booth style seating and windows looking out the aft. We're gonna wrap continuously around to the Windjammer once again. It's gonna make a giant loop, but to me, my favorite spot always is the aft of the ship. I love to dine al fresco outside, so let's head on out and check that out. So now we're in the very aft of the ship where you're gonna find the outdoor dining terrace. You'll find that it's very reminiscent of the Radiance class of ships. In fact, there's a lot of things on board this ship that I find are very similar because both classes were really designed with Alaska and cruising in the Caribbean in mind, both together. Now out here, you're gonna have tables for 2 or 4. They do have a nice covering, so you can be in out here. Maybe you've got a little drizzle or rain, oftentimes like you will in Alaska, but you can sit out here and take advantage of those incredible views. For sail away or just about any time, you'll be oftentimes find me right here. I love being outside. I love being part of that entire cruise experience, getting all the views and of course the fresh air. Now on the starboard side, you're gonna find a full bar. Now they'll provide bar service throughout the entire space here in the Windjammer, but I wanted to point out a couple things. Of course, you can come here, sit, take advantage of hanging out with some of the most incredible bartenders in the business, but you're also going to be able to come back here for that fresh squeezed orange juice in the morning. Now it does come at an additional cost, but if you have the beverage package, or maybe you're taking advantage of those Diamond Plus drinks, you can utilize those here. Now, if you're dining in Coastal Kitchen, it is complimentary, but for me personally, I start my day every day at home, some fresh squeezed orange juice, a nice cup of coffee. This is a great combination for that. Set just forward of the Windjammer, you'll find Coastal Kitchen Suite Restaurant. This is another one of those amenities for Grand Suites and above and Pinnacle members. And to me, in addition, of course, to the concierge and the genie, this is the best perk. So you'll be able to dine here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner each and every single day. It's an upgraded a la carte menu. I know my family's really enjoyed it here on this cruise. You're gonna get incredible service as you would throughout the ship, but it is all the little touches that you get with taking a full suite with Royal Caribbean that our guests love so much and come back for time and time again. Now you'll see the space itself, it's set out. You've got tables for 2, 4. They have these unique tables that are high top, and so depending on the family group you're traveling with, maybe it's just a couple or a larger group, they can accommodate just about any size. You've got the booth set along the back. You can see a huge wall of wine right there. Of course, they'll be happy to come in. The sommelier will work with you to pair with your meal specifically, and the chef's always gonna have their recommendations. It's a really nice large space here, and one of the other unique things is if you're in a junior suite, which on this particular class of ship is considered C class, you can dine in here for dinner. It's not guaranteed every single day, but you're definitely gonna wanna stop by the first day and coordinate with them so that you can get at least a few dinners in here. And the reason that works that way is a lot of the suite guests will of course dine in the specialty restaurants or other spots throughout the ship, so this does open up a little more at dinner time. So it's gonna go all the way around the back. In fact, that door right there is gonna open up into the Windjammer, but make sure that you take advantage of your time here in a suite with Royal Caribbean. Coastal Kitchen is fantastic. Now we're headed into the Vitality Salon and Spa. This is where you can pamper yourself at sea. You're gonna have all the favorite treatments that you'll find on land, plus of course the changing scenery. So we've started off right here at the entry. So you're definitely gonna wanna head up here on the first day. This is where you can come get a spa tour, learn what everything is all about. They'll be happy to answer your questions. And of course you can book your treatments. Now I do recommend booking ahead whenever you possibly can, especially on sea days. They do fill up pretty quick, but they'll be able to answer all of your questions and guide you through the process. Now you'll find a bit of retail in here, just like throughout the rest of the ship. You can get these items duty-free. So we do have a lot of customers that will tell us they'll come and load up on their favorite items while they're here cruising. Now let's head further into the spa and salon. Now, if you'd like a manicure, a pedicure, a hair treatment, that's something that they can definitely do for you here on board. You can go out in style one of the evenings while you're here on board, so you can come in, get done up. Maybe you want to take those portraits. This is perfect for that. Or maybe you just want to spoil yourself with a manicure or a pedicure. You can see the manicure station right here. They actually do have teeth whitening services. It's just behind the wall here on the other side. You're going to find a variety of different treatments that you can have here on board. So you have a couple of the hair stations right here. And then as we continue further back, you're gonna find a couple hair stations on the other side. And then the very far back, my favorite place, you're gonna find the pedicure station. I learned that in boot camp. You always want to take care of your feet, especially when you're on vacation. So you can come here and you can get a pedicure with some ocean views. What I like is they even have it big enough for my size 15 feet. But once again, whatever you're looking for at the salon, they're sure to have it here on board the Quantum. Now, after you check in at the front desk, your spa journey is actually going to start right here. This is the relaxation room. You're going to see that they have chairs with ottomans, some reading materials. They'll also have infused waters and juices and teas a little bit later on. They're just getting ready to set that up. But the idea behind this is where you come to get in the Zen mindset. They've got soft music that's playing. They're going to give you a little bit of paperwork so that you can fill that out and communicate with your therapist. It's always important to let them know what you like, what you don't like, so that they can craft the perfect treatment for you. Now, after the relaxation room, you'll be able to access the gents and ladies locker room. That's where you'll be able to leave your stuff. You're going to get a nice robe, and then you can head out and enjoy your treatment. Or another fantastic spot in the spa is the thermal suite. I generally always purchase the thermal suite pass. That's just my personal preference. In here, there's quite a few options that you can take advantage of. You've got these stone loungers here, so they're ergonomic and they're heated underneath. So after a nice shore excursion, maybe you're out exploring the wilderness, we'll be heading out and doing some whale watching, maybe heading up a mountain or flight seeing, you can come back here and sit and relax. Over in the corner, you're gonna have a rainforest shower. So in there, they have a couple different shower treatments from warm to cold, so you can do that full cycle. And then continuing along to the other side, you're gonna find the Calidarium. Got that Roman name there. This is essentially an aromatherapy steam room, so you can have some steam functions. And then on the far side, you're gonna have the Laconium dry heat chamber, which is essentially a sauna. So once again, in here, you'll see that circuit. You can go between the sauna, the steam room, the different shower options, and then of course, my favorite stone loungers. So now I'm inside one of the single treatment rooms. Now they have several different treatment room options. They do match up with the treatments. They've got a full Medi Spa here. You can do all your favorite wraps, facials, and of course the massages. Now for me personally, the hot stone massage or the bamboo massage is my favorite. You can see they've got this over here so they can baste a turkey. Well, actually that's for the hot stones. And then just underneath, you've got different Elemis treatment options. Now they do have a partnership with Caristis from Paris for the salon. They have a partnership with Elemis here in the spa itself. Now they also have couples treatment rooms if you want a nice relaxing couples treatment. I know my wife and I really love that. My daughter will go to the Adventure Ocean Center, have a blast with her friends, and we can come up here and relax. Now I did want to point out that if you have accessibility needs, you can request one of the accessible treatment rooms. The big difference here is you've got a roll-in shower. So once again, when you first get on board, my high recommendation is that you come and check out the spa, you do one of the tours, and then ask all your questions. They're going to guide you through the process to pick the perfect option for you. And they do sell out, once again, especially on sea days. Now at the very front of the ship, at the very top, you're gonna find the Vitality Fitness Center. It's a really nice large space. You're gonna find all the equipment that you would at your favorite gym at home. So in here, you're gonna find treadmills wrapped all the way around to take advantage of the views. You've got rowing machines, you're gonna have ellipticals. You also have some stair steppers. And then right in the middle, you're gonna find all of your free weights and circuit stations. So you're gonna have, once again, they partner with Techno Gym. You're gonna have all of the different equipment that you'll need to have a full workout. Now, in addition to that, they have quite a few other options. They're gonna do classes like yoga and stretch. They also have it set up for TRX. And this area is really cool and pretty unique to this class of ship. You can see it kind of ducks down here. You've got the walking track just outside. But what this is it's a classroom and an aerobics studio. So you've got two large screen TVs. You also have the speakers set up. So they'll do fitness classes. They'll do things on nutrition, all kinds of different fitness style and lifestyle options where you can learn about how to take care of yourself a little bit better. I know for me personally, I always come to the gym each and every single day. Well, no, that's not really true here on a cruise, but I love the idea that I could if I really wanted to. And many of our guests really do utilize it each and every single day here on board. So if you're looking for a great workout, you've got all the mats and the fitness balls over on the far side there. On the very far side, you're gonna have more of the aerobic equipment. And then once here, right in the middle, you got a bit more of the aerobic equipment and all of the circuits and free weights. Now, one kind of comical thing is if you see a sign on a cruise ship, anywhere in the world, it's probably because somebody has already done it. So just a quick reminder, no flip-flops, no high heels, and no dress-up shoes on the treadmill. Make sure you stay safe with those rubber-soled shoes. That's why I'm never coming back. Tucked on the starboard side of the fitness center, you're also gonna find this aerobics classroom as well. Right now they have it set up for a class where they're gonna teach a little bit about nutrition, but you also can come in here, utilize it for stretching. They'll do yoga classes in here and aerobics classes as well. Now we're inside one of the most beautiful conference centers at sea. On most cruise ships, you're going to find the conference center all the way down in the middle of the ship. Here, it's the very back of the ship, and it's actually just above the suite lounge, which gives you the incredible panoramic ocean views. I was on one of the very first conferences at sea on this particular ship. We utilize this space quite a bit. It can be partitioned off on this side, so you can actually have 1, 2, and then 3 conference centers on the other side. Each and every one of them is going to have the large flat panel TV, so they've got all the AV setups. Now, Harr Travel started off over 40 years ago primarily doing meetings and incentives and conferences like that. So if you're looking to book one of those with an expert, make sure you reach out to Harr Travel. Now, at the very aft of Deck 12, you're going to find the Suite Lounge. This is another beautiful space here on board, dedicated to those who are in a grand suite and above, or of course, Pinnacle members. The idea with this lounge is it's a nice quiet space to get away. They're going to have small bites for breakfast on the far side over there. They'll have small bites for lunch, and then of course appetizers. They'll also have a complimentary cocktail hour each and every evening here in the space itself. But what makes the suite experience so unique and special here on board Royal Caribbean is of course the concierge and the genie. So you can utilize the service of the concierge anytime that you like here on board. They're going to help you make dining reservations. They can assist with shore excursions. They can answer just about all of your questions. Now keep in mind your Harr Travel advisor is going to coordinate with the concierge even before you arrive here on board. We can also assist with the genies as well. We know that inside and out, and the whole idea behind using a travel advisor is making sure that you get the greatest value out of your experience. Now the space itself, you've got quite a few of these tables and chairs. They're oftentimes most utilized in the evening before dinner, where you can come and have, once again, that happy hour. And then of course you can have the small bites as well. And then as we continue along, you have some unique booth style and bench style seatings here. I did want to point out that behind that mirror is a television. You can see the remote right there. Watched some NBA finals on that very television a couple years ago. And then as we continue further along, you're going to find more seating looking out at the incredible aft views. And then tucked in the corner over here is one of my favorite spots. So you have an espresso maker. You can come up and use that anytime that you'd like. Make an Americano, cappuccino, cafe crema, whatever that you like to utilize. Now my daughter's favorite, of course, is the hot chocolate. In fact, we'll be back here for that in just a second. You've got tea you can utilize as well. And then you can see over here we're at lunchtime. So they've got some small bites. You've got some sandwiches. Looks like they've got an egg sandwich. They've got a roast beef, a salmon and shrimp sandwich. And then they've got these beautiful fruit plates and cookies. They're going to continually replenish them throughout. But it's all about the beautiful space and the service. So once again, come up and utilize this anytime you like. My wife also likes to turn it into her sewing room because of all that incredible light coming in from the floor to ceiling windows that cover the entire back of the ship. Royal Caribbean is a family-focused cruise line, and they do a phenomenal job with their kids programming. I actually started in the Adventure Ocean Center myself when I was about 6 years old, and now my daughter, who is also 6 years old, is enjoying the program, but there's so much that has changed in such a positive way. One of those things is they've added Royal Babies and Tots. So the youngest cruisers usually start about 6 months, depending on the itinerary, it may be a year, but they're actually gonna have full drop-off service here. Let's head inside and let me show you what it's all about. Now, the very first day that you're here on board, whatever age your kids are, you're definitely going to want to come by the Adventure Ocean Center. You're going to register them, you're going to let them know who can pick them up and drop them off. And then here's where you're going to do that each and every time you come by. Now, safety and security is paramount to the kids program here on board. So what I did when I boarded the ship is I came up, I let them know that my dad, who's traveling with me, can of course pick up and drop off my daughter, some of our friends and family as well. That way, maybe I'm at dinner somewhere, my dad could run and grab her or drop her off, or vice versa. But once again, they will not release the kiddos to anybody who's not been signed off on by the parents. Now I mentioned you're gonna check in here, and this space is the Royal Babies and Tots. So over here in the corner, you can see all the mats. They're just cleaning up on turnaround day here. You're gonna have a TV, so they'll do movie time in here for them. You're also gonna see the rocking chair back in the corner. They've got a full kitchen area over here as well. Now what's great about this service is in a lot of cruise lines, it's 3 years old and potty trained in order to take advantage. Like I mentioned, you can drop them off as young as 6 months old. They're gonna feed them, of course they'll change them as well. And then just through here, you're actually gonna have the nursery area. They'll put them down for a nap. They've got all the strollers. I know you guys know that little trick of pushing them back and forth to make sure that they go to sleep, or maybe if they're a little bit fussy. In here, you do have another TV as well. You've got all the cribs. And what I love about that concept is that they are like Mary Poppins style nannies. It's amazing. I've watched them put down several at a time when we drop my daughter off here. So once again, if you're looking for services from age 6 months all the way up to 36 months, you can take advantage of Royal Babies and Tots. Now the next age group is the 3 to 5 year olds, and they're called the Aquanauts. So this is the space dedicated to them. Once again, you're gonna have the check-in and check-out right here, just like you'll have for the entire program. And in this space, you're gonna see that they have a lot of things that are their size. And of course, they're gonna do programming just for them. They're gonna keep them busy throughout the day. My daughter loved coming here and doing model magic, maybe doing an experiment with science things, or of course, artwork. She absolutely loves that. But they've got things for active kiddos and kids that wanna do any of those activities. So you can see the small tables here where they can set up all the artwork. You're gonna see all around they have these shelving units and cabinets. This is where you're gonna find all of the different things they're gonna use. You've got glitter and pipettes and balloons, ribbons, model magic, markers, whatever it is that they enjoy at home or at school, they're gonna enjoy here on board. And I love that they take that combination of learning and of course fun. So tucked around in the corner, you're gonna have a slide. What 3 to 5 year old doesn't love going down the slide? You've got a little area where they can hide out back there. And then right over here, you're gonna see that they have a little stage area. So they actually have curtains. They'll do little shows for them in here, and they also gonna have a TV where they can do movie time. Now on the Quantum of the Seas, the Adventure Ocean Center is actually on 2 separate decks. So we're down here on deck 11, and just up the stairs on the far side is deck 12. We'll take you up there in just a little bit, but I wanted to point out this space here. This is an open play space. So sometimes parents with the littler kiddos may not want to do the drop-off service, or they have kids with different age groups, so they want to come in and play together. That's what this is all about. You see all the different toys right here. You've got a couple areas set up in the corner for some fun, and then you're also going to have the slide right here as well. But once again, this is a parent-supervised activity. This is not a drop-off activity, but if you want a place just to go, maybe for 20 minutes before dinner or something like that, where you want to go, play, and have a great time, you can enjoy this space. Now we're gonna head up the stairs to check out the other Adventure Ocean spaces. Next up is the Explorers area. So this is dedicated to the kids that are 6 to 8 years old. Once again, you're gonna have the check-in area, and then you have quite a bit of open spaces. So they'll do a lot of activities in here. They'll do bowling. In fact, over in the corner, they've got hula hoops and a couple of the different activities they'll do. And then once again, all throughout, you've got the cabinets where you can do arts, crafts, games, and sometimes they'll even be able to take them out and explore a little bit more with the science lab. Now I'll take you over there in just a minute, but I wanted to walk through this space. You've got the sink over here and the full kitchen set up. You're gonna have the tables and chairs. Of course, very, very important is the video game station. You've got these Xbox Connects, so you can do all kinds of active video games, maybe a little bit of competition with some friends. Over in the corner here, you can see more of the storage areas for all the arts and crafts. And then over here, they're gonna have some bench seating. They'll do movie time in here as well. They have the bean bags. They'll set them up so they can watch movies. And then right around the corner are the restrooms. Now this is something they have in each and every one of the segments here, and I really like that they do that. They're the perfect size for the kids of that age. I know my daughter, when she was littler, felt very comfortable because she could come in. Everything was her size. And of course, it's all about the crew members. Of course, the staff here choose to do this. They all have a background in child development. They love what they do, and they're gonna make the experience. Throughout the entire ship, they have some amazing spaces, but it's all about the people, and Royal Caribbean has the best staff in the entire industry when it comes to the kids club. The Adventure Ocean Club here is phenomenal. Next up is the Science Lab. Now this is the place where they can come in and once again take advantage of that learning experience and a lot of fun. You can see the classic volcano experience. You're gonna have the bubbling potions, put a little vinegar, baking soda. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's such a cool thing to do. You're also gonna have a plasma ball. They can learn a bit about electricity, microscope, skeleton there. Now this ship is heading up to Alaska right now. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna do a lot of learning about different components of Alaska, whether it's about the geography, about the people, maybe it's about the different animals and plant life that they have there as well. So they'll blend all of that together, but of course they're gonna put a whopping dollop of fun in there as well. Now this is a science lab. You've got the sink over there in the corner. They also utilize this space for different art activities and projects. You can see all the different poster boards there. You've got paints, all kinds of fun. Now keep in mind, this is shared amongst the different age levels. Now the final space in the Adventure Ocean Center, this is the 9 to 11-year-olds, it's the Voyagers area. So once again, you'll see it's similar to some of the other spaces. It's pretty expansive. You got an area over here in the corner for all the different arts and craft projects. You're gonna have the bench style seating where they can sit around. Now in here, they'll do some dance parties. Of course, they'll do different entertainment and of course, a lot of fun. You've got the TV over there in the corner. You can see they've got the balls. I know my daughter loves playing a little bit of gaga ball. They've got it set up where they can do the bowling, the hula hoops, and then over around the corner, you're gonna have more of those video game stations. Once again, you got the Xbox 360s with the Xbox Connect in there, so you can play all kinds of different games with your friends and of course your family members. Now, one of the things that we do get a lot of is siblings traveling together. And of course, your Harr travel advisor can guide you through that process as to where they'll be here in the Adventure Ocean Center on the ship. Now keep in mind they have dedicated teen spaces as well, but in the Adventure Ocean Center right here, you're gonna find the spaces from 6 months old all the way up to 11 years. Now, one of my favorite venues on any class of cruise ships in the entire world is 270. It's at the very back of the ship. Of course, this being the namesake of the class of ships, this was the very, very first one, and Royal Caribbean absolutely hit it out of the park. It's a massive venue. It's the other theater here on board, but it's much more than that. You're gonna have views that wrap 270 degrees all the way around the ship. It's another perfect spot to be if you're traveling through some of the more scenic parts of our world. They're gonna have chairs that are facing out to take advantage of those stunning views. But more than that, it does turn into a theater in the evening, and they even use it for movies during the day. So let me explain what it's all about. From here, you can see the stadium style seating. So you've got seating down below here. In fact, that's actually reserved for Star Class right there. And then you're gonna have seating tiers all the way up. And then you also have the upper deck all the way up there. You'll see that you've got the sound booth at the very top because all of this turns into the stage. Where I am right now actually will sink down into the floor. So the performers will pop up with all of the different costumes, all the amazing different acts that they'll have in here, some acrobatics. They have Star Water right now as the show on board, and it was absolutely fantastic. We really, really loved it. My daughter and I were actually sitting right up there last night with my dad, and it was really something special. The costumes were out of this world, the dancing and the singing. But what ties it all together is the technology. So right here on the dance floor, now keep in mind they will utilize this with a live band to do dancing, pre-dinner, things like that. But in there, this is gonna pop up so you can actually walk across a bridge to the other side. In the planters, they actually have big open circles where they'll pop up, and even in the roof, they can come down from the ceiling. So you'll see some acrobatics. And what's great about it is it's a little bit of magic tied in with the entertainment. So you're gonna have a full bar on the far side over there, and something that's really, really cool to tie in to the bionic bar, which is the robot bartenders, is the robot TV screens. There's 6 extra large TV screens. You can see them up there. They're actually tucked away right now, but they'll come down and go together to form a large movie screen. So they'll do first run movies. My daughter really loves to come and enjoy that here with me. But during the show, it's actually part of the show. So they're gonna dance, they're gonna move, and they're gonna really add to it. Another thing that's really cool is they're gonna have curtains that close all of this off. There's projectors wrapped all the way around in the floor. So the entire wall will be part of the show as well. And it all combines together for a really incredible experience here on board. Now, I also wanted to point out up above, just behind the sound booth there, is where you're gonna find the library. So many cruise ships and cruise lines are getting rid of libraries as people go digital. I love to grab a real book and put my hands on it. I like that they're gonna have that up there for you to utilize. They also have some computers with an internet station of sorts. Now, most people do utilize their own devices, and this ship is gonna have Voom internet, which is the fastest internet at sea. I will give everybody a heads up. When you're traveling through fjords and in glaciers and things like that, the satellite internet's not perfect, but Royal does have the best internet in the entire industry, and they continue to invest in it. Now, as I head further back, I just wanted to show that you've got seating areas tucked in the corner here. They've got these bird nest loungers. You've got more seating up above as well. And then as we head further on, this is that area I was talking about where you can grab a nice comfortable seat and look out. It's actually gonna be quite busy in here when we head into the glaciers tomorrow, and you can see why. But the incredible views are absolutely stunning. It's a one-of-a-kind venue that doesn't really exist anywhere else. The only thing that I can kind of compare it to would be Eden on the Edge class of ships with Celebrity, but it's really not anything replicable. You can't do this anywhere else. It's so special to have all of the technology, of course, all of the entertainment. And Nick Weir, once again, has hit it out of the park, the director of entertainment for Royal Caribbean. He does a great job. They're always going to mix it up. The costumes, the style, all of it is truly unique to Royal Caribbean. Set just forward of the 270 venue, you're going to find Cafe 270. This is a fast casual option here on board where they have items made to order and a ton of great grab and go options. So you can come throughout the day, so they'll have some breakfast options here, but really it's kind of a late morning through early evening option. So first up, you're gonna have soups, sandwiches, and wraps. They'll have them made to order. They're in the transition period going from breakfast over to lunch right now. So you've got that classic Kummelweck, which is a Royal Caribbean favorite. We get that at the Central Park Cafe all the time. You can start your day here, and it's one of those all-time classics. In addition to that, you're gonna have things like a Reuben sandwich, turkey club, wraps, pita pockets, and of course, several great grilled cheese options. My daughter really enjoys those. Now, as we wrap further along on this side, you're gonna find salads. So this is all gonna be set up here shortly with a really nice large salad bar. Let's see, they've got romaine lettuce, chopped salad. You're also gonna have the BLTA Thai chicken noodle salad. And then of course, they're gonna have all the different accoutrements so you can choose and make your own. They'll toss it for you right there. And then you can head on out and enjoy either in 270 or any of the other spots. Now, a little secret that I wanted to tell you about is this coffee shop. So there's a coffee shop up in the Windjammer, there's a coffee shop down on the Esplanade, and there's another one right here. So they're gonna have delicious sweet treats and pastries in the morning. You can see they're just getting ready to transition it over to lunch. You also have that fresh squeezed orange juice. I love fresh squeezed orange juice, so you can take advantage of that if you have the beverage package, or of course if you have one of the Diamond or Diamond Plus drinks, but this is a full coffee shop. Now on the other side, you're gonna find another one of the drink stations. You've got the Nestle Vitality waters. You're gonna have the coffees and the teas right here to enjoy. But once again, a great option, and because it's tucked towards the back of the ship, a lot of times people don't find it until maybe day 2, 3, or 4. So early on in the cruise, and even throughout, it's a great place to come, grab a quick made-to-order option at no additional cost. As with all the other Royal Caribbean ships, you can see the partnership with Park West Galleries here. You've got some of their all-time favorite cruise artists, Godard. I see some Brito over there, some Kincaids. But what I love about this is it's its own gallery, so you can come by and really enjoy. They're gonna do the art auctions. We do have a lot of guests that like to come on board and bid on art and purchase it, because like everything throughout the ship, it's going to be duty free. You can get some pretty good deals, but what I like about it as well is it's gonna be an educational experience. They can teach you about the art, you can learn, you don't have to purchase anything, but you never know, you may decide to go home with a brand new piece of art for your house. Now, Royal Caribbean knows that you're gonna have an incredible time here on board, and you're probably gonna wanna book your next cruise right here. So this is the Next Cruise desk, and what's unique about that is you can take advantage of some offers that will only be offered here on board. You're gonna get the best deals that are out there. In addition to that, you're gonna get some discounts or additional onboard credit. Now keep in mind, you can book a specific cruise. You can also book an open cruise, and then you have 60 days to name it, basically assign which cruise you wanna take, and then you'll get those same onboard booking benefits. As your travel advisor, when we book your cruise to begin with, when you come and book here, it's gonna come directly to us, and we can provide service throughout. Now keep in mind, if you'd like to come on board for the first time and book with Harr Travel for your next cruise, just reach out to us before you head on to your cruise. We'll go through all the steps for you, but they're very knowledgeable. Now, I also wanted to point out that the last day, oftentimes it gets really, really busy here, so I recommend stopping by throughout, or you can set an appointment with one of their advisors. Now, as we continue to head forward, I did want to point out this beautiful art piece. This ship is absolutely stunning, and I've always felt that the Quantum class of ships are the most beautiful ships Royal Caribbean has ever designed. And they've continued to evolve with each of the ships. In fact, where I'm standing right now is open space on the Odyssey. That was one of the things that was missed early on with this class of ship, is those big, open, grandiose dining rooms. And so on the Odyssey of the Seas, they open this up, and you've got that 2-story dining room down below, but open air up above. Now, if you want to see the Odyssey of the Seas full ship tour, the rooms and suites, we have that on our channel as well. But what I do like about this space a lot is that it's kind of like an Italian piazza, and it meshes up perfectly with Jamie's Italian. Jamie's has always been one of my all-time favorite Royal Caribbean specialty restaurants. In fact, if you want to check out on our channel, we do have a Danny Dines, where I dine and eat every single item on the menu here, so you can see what's all about. Of course, you got to take one for the team there and eat all the food. Now, one of my favorite ways to start with Jamie's is the plank. If you've walked the plank as of sorts, as you know what I'm talking about. It's a giant charcuterie plate. They have all kinds of delicious, fresh Italian options. Now I'm gonna head into Jamie's here, just show you a few things. You can see it's got that very modern Italian feel. So you've got larger tables for 6 and 8, you've got tables for 2 and 4, and then all along the window area, you're also going to have the booth style seating. This is all about a modern Italian menu. They have some delicious handmade pastas. Of course, burrata makes me incredibly happy, and all the appetizers really come together for a fantastic meal here on board. Keep in mind, if you're in Star Class, you can dine at all the specialty restaurants for lunch and dinner at no additional cost. But this being a specialty restaurant, it does come at an additional cost. Or if you're going to purchase the unlimited dining package, you can utilize that as well here in Jamie's. Now, just in the back there, they've got the pasta machine. You see the Jamie Oliver's cookbooks there as well. Now, Royal Caribbean has discontinued their relationship with Jamie Oliver's restaurant empire going forward. So you're going to see on the newer ships and the renovations, Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, which is absolutely phenomenal. But this particular restaurant on this ship launch really made me fall in love with Royal Caribbean all over again, because it is a phenomenal specialty option. They're going to have a huge variety of wines as well. The sommelier will be happy to pair that with your food. But if you're looking for a delicious option here on board, I definitely recommend checking out Jamie's. Set just next to Jamie's is Vintage's Wine Bar. Once again, with that Italian piazza style, you've got some outdoor seating here. And then just inside, you're going to find a classic wine bar option. You can see the long table here is perfect for tastings. They will do tastings throughout your time here on board. You've got the full bar set up there. They even have the automatic wine dispensers where you can utilize those if you'd like. It's really comfortable, large, overstuffed furniture where you're going to have a really nice place to sit, maybe before dinner, after dinner, relax and meet up with friends. Now, I did want to mention, when Jamie's is open, you can also order off the appetizer menu here. So I love grabbing a seat in here, maybe getting a few of the appetizer options, a nice glass of wine before we head on out and enjoy dinner. Now we're headed into the Royal Esplanade. Previously, they had the Promenade. This is a little bit different, but a very similar concept. It's a really nice, large, open air area. It's 2 stories high. Down below, you're going to have retail, of course, Sorrento's Pizza, all of my all-time favorite little bites down there. But up here, you're going to have a few options as well. Now, before we head over to Wonderland, I wanted to point out this beautiful piece of LED art. This was Royal's first smart ship. You've seen an evolution of they've built each and every single ship afterwards, but this is just an example of that. They have the beautiful blown glass on the sides, and then this LED piece up above. So it's constantly changing and evolving. Now, as we head forward on the starboard side, you're going to find Wonderland. Now, this was the very first Wonderland. They've continued to put it on all the ships since because it's been such a big hit. The whole concept behind Wonderland is whimsical dining. It's about eating something that may look like something else, have a different texture, but tastes absolutely delicious. It's about surprise and delight, and it starts right here at the very beginning. So you see the beautiful sculpture pointing us in to head on down the rabbit hole. Now, when you're inside, you can really see what it's all about. They have this beautiful black and white decor in here. You can see all the chairs. You've got the checker patterns. You've got the rabbit, of course, because Alice in Wonderland theme is what it's all about. When you sit down, you're going to get a paintbrush, a little bowl of water, and they're going to bring you your menu, and you're actually going to paint the menu with water, and that's going to reveal the items on there. There's quite a few items, and of course, this is a specialty restaurant, so it does come at an additional cost. You can utilize it with the unlimited dining package as well. Now, it's not a really large restaurant, so I always do recommend pre-booking as soon as you possibly can. You can see back here, you've got tables for 2, 4. They've got larger bench style seatings. They can fit larger parties over here. And then as we continue through the space, you got to look up as well as look down. You can see the keys up here on the ceiling. You've got the beautiful whimsical design there. And then you have a massive table down the middle. And I love that they even have my chair that's tall enough for me. Now, if you want to see what the menu's all about, I do recommend that you check out the Danny Dines episode that we have on our channel with Wonderland. I went through the entire menu. I tasted it all for you so that you can see what it's about and see if it's a great choice for you. What I love about it is it's something different. And when you go on a cruise, it's all about that. It's about opening your heart, opening your mind, and checking out new things. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with how cool of an option this is. Now, we just stepped outside of Wonderland. I wanted to point out they do have that pub style seating. It's great for looking down over the Esplanade. It's a great place to have a drink before you head on in and enjoy Wonderland with the family. Now, I'm going to take you right around the corner to my home away from home, my happy place here on board, and that is Azumi Japanese cuisine. Now on some royal ships, Azumi is a combination of both a sushi bar and of course a hibachi restaurant. On here, it's just the sushi bar. So what you'll see is the seating actually extends all the way out here to the front, and then just inside you're gonna have a full sushi bar setup. You've got bar style seating here, you've got tables for 2 and 4, but you're gonna find all of your favorite rolls, sushi, sashimi, and I also like that they have some other great options as well. My daughter loves the chicken karagi. They also have a really good teriyaki bowl. So even if you're not a sushi lover, and some in the family are, you're sure to find a great option for you here. Now keep in mind, it is a specialty restaurant, so it does come at an additional cost. Now, as we wrap further around, we are in the very first Bionic bar. This is one of those things that Royal Caribbean made a huge deal about when it was created because it is so incredibly cool. You'll see that it is a full bar here. So you're gonna have bar style seating looking down at the Royal Esplanade. You've got lounge style seating wrapped all the way around. But what this is all about is these incredible robot bartenders. So what you're gonna do is you'll have an iPad, they usually have them set up here. You're gonna order the drink that you like. You can create your own, you can order from all the classics. It's gonna send the signal over to the robot bartenders and they're gonna mix your drink. So you see up on the roof here, you're gonna have all of the different alcohols. It's gonna go up and press the buttons there to have the alcohols dispersed. You're also gonna have all your favorite mixers just behind. It's gonna shake, rattle, and roll, and then it's gonna put the drink down here. When you come on up and you tap your card, it's gonna slide the drink right out. Now, I was on one of the very first sailings of the Quantum, and it's kind of funny that when this first was released, it worked really well, but it wasn't quite perfect, like any brand new concept. So there were a few drinks that may have been splashed here and there, but Royal Caribbean has definitely perfected it since then. They've added it to all their newest ships. And I know my daughter actually loves to come sit here and just watch the robots work. It's a really fun addition to your time here on board the Quantum. Now, I have not been on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship if I have not visited the Schooner Bar. I absolutely love the Schooner Bar. It's a great place for, well, sing-alongs, it's great for trivia, and of course, Giovanni, thank you so much, sir. Cheers. All of your favorite drinks. I think I may have been here once or twice because he knows my order. It's a gin and tonic, of course. But what this is all about is the piano right here and the bar on the far side. So you've got some great seating. You've got love seats all around the back. You're gonna have tables for 2 and 4. You also have some bar style seating on the far side there where you can get together with some friends and family. But this is a social experience. You can do a sing-along. In fact, throw back to one of our all-time favorite cruises back in early 2020 with Matt Yee. He was behind the piano, just absolutely tearing it up, as he always does. But we've made friends with a lot of the pianists. They're amazing. Of course, you've got the bar seating all around the piano there. They're gonna use this for trivia throughout the day. But it's a great place to come for a pre-dinner cocktail, a post-dinner cocktail, or if you just wanna find a quiet place during the day, this is often a perfect spot for that. Now, another thing that I really appreciate is that it leads right into Chop's Grill. So it's a great place to come, sit down, maybe meet your group before you head on in and enjoy a delicious specialty meal. Now, Chop's is a steakhouse. In fact, it's an unapologetic steakhouse. That's exactly what it is. It doesn't try to be anything else. It's a really nice large venue. It's probably the most popular of all of Royal Caribbean specialty restaurants, and it is the original specialty restaurant from Royal Caribbean. You can see that you have all of this vinyl seating, looks very much like a steakhouse at home. I love the beautiful decor. You can see the big, large plates that are gonna be soon filled with all of your favorites. They've got all the classics. My favorite is that pork belly. It's absolutely delicious for an appetizer. Though I also really love a super jumbo shrimp cocktail. I really love all the appetizers here. And then of course, as you progress throughout the meal, you're gonna be able to get a delicious ribeye, which is my favorite cut. You can get your filet, you can get your T-bone. Any of your favorite steakhouse treats you're sure to find here at Chop's. Now, I definitely recommend that you make a reservation as early as possible. I mentioned that it is a specialty restaurant, so you're gonna make sure and know that it does cost an additional fee. You can utilize that unlimited specialty dining package if you'd like, but you can see it's a really nice large space. They've got tables for 2, they've got tables for 4. You're also gonna have this large booth style seating, and they can really accommodate any size of group. Now, one of the things that is unique to the Quantum class of ships is the chef's table restaurant is actually in Chop's. Let's head in and I'll show you what that's all about. Now, I love the chef's table experience. Not only is it delicious food, amazing wine, but it's all about the social experience. Of course, you can take it over for your entire group if you'd like. You can also meet new people. In fact, when we were on the Anthem of the Seas, this was our very first dining experience, and it's also the very first Danny Dines that we filmed. The food was delicious. You can check that out so you can see what the menus are like. The chef will kind of move that around as you go. But the idea behind the whole experience is that you're gonna have a multiple course meal. It's all gonna be paired with fine wines, which is absolutely delicious. The chef's gonna come out and they're gonna explain each and every single course. And then of course the sommelier is also going to explain the wine pairing, why it pairs well with it, and you can ask questions. But you can imagine sitting back here, having a couple-hour meal where you're gonna have delicious food, amazing conversation, and if you wanna see what it's all about, make sure you check out the Danny Dines episode. Now, I did wanna point out that if you're in Star Class, this is something that's partially included, and it is the one thing that you definitely wanna pre-book from a dining experience, because with a table setting this small and a ship this large, this is one of those things that's a fan favorite and it's sure to sell out. On the port side, as we head forward, you're gonna find the Focus Photo Gallery. Now, this was the first of its kind with Royal Caribbean. Those of you who've been cruising for a long time remember how it used to be done, where they would print out 1,000,000 photos of everyone. You'd come, search through them, pick the ones that you'd like. What this is a fully digital experience. So when you board the ship, they're gonna take your photo. All of this is if you'd like it. When you get off the ship, sometimes they'll take photos throughout the dining experience and throughout your cruise experience. And what I like about that is they take the pictures, you get to enjoy what it's all about and not be looking through a camera lens. So the way that it works is you'll take your SeaPass card, you'll come up, all you gotta do is tap it right here. It's gonna pull up all the photos that you've taken throughout your trip. You can pick one of them, you can pick multiple, you can actually buy a package where you get all of them, you can take them home and print them, or they have several different printing options here as well. Now, in addition to that, you can see the GoPros right over here. They got the 9s and 10s right now, but this is also a retail shop. So maybe you need another card, right? An SD card because you took so many photos. They've got those for sale here. They also have different cameras, batteries, binoculars. We're here in Alaska, so those binoculars come in really, really handy. But this is what it's all about. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out is that they also have a formal portrait studio. So you can set up a time and you can do the formal portraits. It's just a little bit aft of here on deck 5 as well. Maybe you want to do those Christmas card photos, or you just want to get together, because sometimes it's hard at home with busy schedules to get the full family together. And what I love about cruising is all of your stress melts away and you can have all kinds of fun, family gatherings. And I know in my family, it's all about mom, and mom wants to get everybody together for a photo. You can set that up with one of their professional photographers. One other little touch that I like is they do have these Fujifilm, the Instax, so you can go ahead and, well, instant gratification is great, so you can take the photos, you can have them printed out immediately, and have them to utilize as you like. So now we're headed into the Royal Theater. Now the Royal Theater, you're gonna find on every Royal Caribbean ship. It's a core of what Royal Caribbean does. This is where you're gonna find those massive Broadway-style entertainment shows. They'll also bring special edition. In fact, here we had an amazing juggler the other night. They'll have comedians, ventriloquists. So each and every single night, you're gonna have entertainment here in the Royal Theater. Once again, Nick Weir has done an amazing job with all the entertainment here on board. Now, they also utilize this for different things as well. They'll have a movie theater during the day, so you'll see first run movies. In fact, they're getting ready to do Ghostbusters here in just a minute. But once again, the full Royal Theater experience, where each and every single evening you can be entertained by some of the best singers, dancers, comedians, and all of the different magicians and ventriloquists here on board. Just outside the Royal Theater on deck 4, you're gonna find the Diamond Lounge. Now, I believe that Royal Caribbean has some of the best loyalty programs in the entire cruise industry, and the Diamond Club is just one bit of that. Right here is where the Diamond Concierge is gonna be. They can handle just about any request that you have for dining. They can answer your questions. They can assist with excursions. They're here to really elevate your full cruise experience. If you're Diamond, Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle, you can utilize this lounge as you would like. So in addition to having the concierge in here, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they're gonna have some light bites. I've eaten my weight in pigs in a blanket, and of course those delicious hot wings that they're gonna have here for appetizers. And then over here, they also have an espresso maker. What I like about that is it's a complimentary feature, so you can come down, enjoy an espresso, cappuccino. You can also have, of course, my daughter's all-time favorite, hot chocolate. I'll be back to have a little bit more of that in just a second. I'm gonna set that right there. You've got teas and, of course, all the different coffees that you'd like to choose from. But what this is all about is it's truly a social space. So you can get together with like-minded cruisers, those who really love to cruise on Royal Caribbean, and take advantage of the Diamond Lounge space. Now, when this ship was built, this was the Diamond Lounge. When this ship was in Asia, this actually turned into the High Rollers Casino. You can see a little bit of a legacy of that right there, but you have a ton of great seating in here. You've got to have the couches, love seats, tables for two. You also have the high pub style seating. Now, something that I wanted to point out is that just through those doors is the upper level of the music hall. And what that's used for is also for overflow. So they're going to open that up and sometimes cordon it off to have an extension of the Diamond Club, because one of the favorite activities of all Diamond members is, of course, happy hour. So they started that quite a long time ago. I've had more than my fair share of drinks. I've made a lot of new friends in this space. And once again, I love that Royal Caribbean does it. Now, one of the changes that they've done in the last year or so is instead of just having the happy hour here, they've started loading drinks on your card. So I'm a Diamond Plus member. Of course, my family is as well. That's something that Royal does that nobody else really does. So my daughter is Diamond Plus because I'm Diamond Plus. Same with my wife as well. I've cruised a little bit more than both of them, but I love the idea that they extend the benefits to family as well. So what they do is if you're Diamond, they're gonna load 4 drinks on your card. You can have them anywhere throughout the ship. That includes, of course, the fresh squeezed orange juices. Of course, you can have different coffee drinks and, of course, alcoholic beverages. And for the kiddo, because my daughter's under 18, she can just utilize the other drinks. So she has a lot of coffees with dad, and then she also will have those fresh squeezed juices, and she loves her smoothies, which is really a virgin lava flow. But they've got something for every member of the family. This space does turn into more of an adults only space in the evening. But the biggest part, once again, is that incredible Diamond concierge that can make it all come together for you. Now, as we head aft from the Royal Theater, you're gonna find quite a bit of retail here on board. They've got Kiel's Pharmacy just behind. You're also gonna have a full Alaska shop there. Wherever it is in the world that you're visiting, they're gonna have special souvenirs from those areas. In addition to that, you're gonna find a ton of high-end jewelry, might have leatherware, of course, different kinds of clothing items. And what I really appreciate about this is it's all going to be duty-free. That's one of the reasons people shop on board a cruise ship, is that you don't have to pay the taxes when you're out in international waters. Now, these shops are closed because we're in port here right now, but you can have all your favorite beauty products. If you're gonna purchase them anyways at home, why not stock up when you're here on board? Now, in addition to all of that, they have an incredible amount of high-end retail. They have Cartier right here, and then you'll find Regalia, where you're gonna find the fine watches and jewelries. Maybe you do well at the casino, or you just wanna spoil your spouse. There's quite a few different shopping options here on board. Now, a brand new venue that debuted on the Quantum of the Seas is the music hall. And I think Royal Caribbean has absolutely hit it out of the park. In fact, they know they have as well. They've already added it to the Oasis of the Seas. They're putting it on all the new ships because this is a fantastic venue. It's a 2-story venue, so we're on the upper level here, up on deck 4, and then it continues down to deck 3 down below. What this is all about is it's a great place to get together and rock out. Last night they had 50s and 60s music. My dad, my daughter and I were out there doing quite a few of the dances. We had a great time. We also got to see Phoenix in this very spot. It's one of my favorite cover bands where they really truly rock out. Throughout the day, they'll do different things like trivias in there. They'll also utilize it for lecture space. But in the evening, it's truly a music hall. So they'll have different music each and every single night. They've got great live bands in there. In the back, you're gonna find that they have pool tables. That's a really cool thing to have on board a cruise ship. They've got a full bar up above. They're also gonna have a full bar down below. And then wrapped all the way around, you can have great views looking down at the dance floor. So now we're on the bottom level of the Royal Esplanade. Up above, you have all kinds of lighting. They'll turn this into a big party from time to time, but it's really meant to be kind of like a city street. So just behind me is the Harp and Horn pub. You're gonna find an English pub on every single one of Royal Caribbean ships, and this is a great one. You've got the outdoor style pub seating here. You can see the high tops and the low top tables. In fact, we had a party out here with about 20 people earlier in the cruise. And then just behind me, you're gonna find the pub itself. Now they've got a large bar, you've got a full bar in there, some great brews on draft. You're also gonna have all of your favorite cocktails. But something that I like about this particular pub that you won't find on every Royal Caribbean ship is they also have some really delicious food as well. It's a bit of a specialty style restaurant, so it does come at an upgrade. But once again, the bartenders are gonna keep you smiling, laughing, keep those drinks flowing, and you're gonna also be able to sit and have a full dining experience. Now, speaking of dining, right next door is the classic Sorrento's Pizzeria. I've had a few thousand pieces of pizza in Sorrento's over the years. It's open from earlier, maybe later in the morning, early afternoon, all the way through late in night into early morning. In there, you're gonna find a wide variety of antipastis that you can choose from. You're also gonna have all of your favorite pizzas. They have pepperoni, meat lovers, and cheese every day, and then they'll also rotate out with some specialty pizzas as well. You've got seating outside, you have a ton of seating inside as well, and it connects interior, and you can also head outside into the Cafe Promenade. Now, Cafe Promenade is where you're gonna find sandwiches, you might find fruits. I love that they have those fruit cups to go that you can grab them. You're also gonna find coffees and teas, and my favorite, of course, is the cookies. Every time I walk by there, I manage to grab a slice of pizza and also a cookie inside as well. Now, directly across, you're gonna find Le Patisserie. This is the main coffee shop here on board. And in addition to making all of your favorite coffee drinks, all your favorite teas, they also have some delicious options in there when it comes to pastries. My personal favorite is the macaroons. They do come at an additional cost, but you're definitely gonna wanna check that out. Keep in mind, we mentioned earlier in the tour, this combines with the coffee shop at $270 and also up in the Windjammer as well, so you can always find a great cup of joe. Now, right here in the middle, they have a little bit of retail. There's another stop over there. But what I wanted to point out is this is where they'll do those pop-up shops. So they'll have promotional sales throughout your cruise here, where you can grab some different items. Maybe you want to watch like they have here. They'll also do some alcohol sales as well. But whatever it is, make sure you stop by, because sometimes you can get some great discounts on the pop-up shops. You've got a coach shop just over across the way, a continuation of that high-end retail. And then just to my right here, you're gonna find port merchants. This is another shop that you're gonna find on all the Royal Caribbean ships. In there, you're gonna find alcohol, tobacco, different sundry items. Maybe you left something at home, or there's some great candy in there as well. But all of that is duty free, and a lot of those options, most of the cost at home is the tax or duty. So you can stock up here if you'd like and take it home with you. Now, the next venue that I wanna head into is Bolero's. Now, Bolero's is another multi-use venue, but at its heart and soul, it's really going to be a Latin-themed nightclub. We all know that dancing flamenco, salsa, or just heading out to your favorite Latin nightclub is going to be a blast, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. And you can see behind me here, they're gonna have the full band set up, and you have a nice large dance floor. Now, it's also used throughout the day for different things like conferences. In fact, we had a meeting in here as well. You can see it's set up for that right now. But this is a multi-use space during the day. In the evening, what it really is a lounge for adults to come, have a drink, relax, maybe do a little bit of dancing. Speaking of that, you're gonna have your full bar set up here. You're also gonna have a ton of seating wrapped all the way around. So you've got the big couch style seating. You also have some love seats, some booths. Whatever it is that you're looking for, you can sure find it here in Bolero's. Right across from Bolero's, you're gonna find guest services and also the loyalty desk right around the corner. Now, this is the purser's desk, where they can answer just about every question you have about money, your room, just about anything that you need here on board from a passenger services standpoint. They are your go-to experts. Just around the corner as well, you're gonna find the Loyalty Ambassador. Now, the Loyalty Ambassador is the person dedicated to all the Crown and Anchor guests. So there's a lot of events that they'll host. In fact, they had the top tier event just yesterday that we were able to participate in. They're really here to make the entire experience that much better. Now, one thing that I wanted to point out is you'll always find the picture of the godmother, and the godmother on this particular ship is one of my all-time favorites. It's Kristen Chenoweth. Now, we loved Wicked. We got to see it on Broadway. She was absolutely amazing. My wife and I do love her singing, and it was great to see her on board this particular ship during the initial sailing. In fact, she sailed in the Royal Loft Suite, and as a godmother, she can come back each and every single year if she'd like. Now, one other thing that I'd like to point out is right next to the guest services, you're also going to have the ATM. A lot of people do ask us about that, so you can take out cash there. There's also an ATM down in the casino. And from guest services here, you can actually look down the staircase that goes down to the casino, and then there's also a staircase right here that heads right on up to where you can check out the shore excursions. Now, as we head further aft towards the main dining, once again, another one of their more high-tech art installations on here. They've got this, which will change all the time. Once again, I like the idea of the way that the art here on board kind of meshes with the whole experience and also will change as you walk around. So each and every single time you walk by, it's going to be slightly different. Now we're going to head further aft. You've got this bridge area. You can see the aft elevator banks on either side. My daughter absolutely loves that they have the glass elevators that she can utilize going up and down. Now as we head further back, we're going to head into the upper level of the dining rooms. Follow me on in. Now the main dining room on board the Quantum of the Seas is actually 4 separate dining rooms. Up here on deck 4, this is where you're going to find the My Time dining venues. That includes both Silk and the American Icon Grill. Now, when Royal Caribbean created the Quantum class of ships, they really went out of their way to try to open up and do brand new things. In some cases, it was a huge hit, and you've seen it on all the other ships, like the Bionic Bar, the Music Hall, Wonderland. But this particular concept actually didn't go over all that great initially. In fact, I was on one of those very first sailings. The idea was that you were going to have 4 main dining rooms. Your waiter would go with you, like some other cruise lines have done in the past, and really try to mix up the experience. But what they found is a lot of Royal Caribbean cruisers really preferred to have that classic old school cruise dining experience. So what they have now is 4 dining rooms that essentially serve the same items. The American Icon Grill to my right here and Silk just behind me, those are both going to be My Time dining venues. So you'll head on in, you're going to have the same menu, you'll have the same incredible Royal Caribbean service there, but what you're going to find is up here, My Time dining, and right down below, you're going to find the classic set dining menus. Now the themes are still there, so the American Icon Grill, I really like it. It's an absolutely beautiful space. The artwork in there is really cool. They have all of these different partitions, and when you look at it from different angles, it's going to look like classic scenes of America from around the US. So you might find a little bit of Texas, you might find some California, some New England. But what you'll see in here, beautiful chandeliers, decor, tables for 2, 4, 6, or you can have larger family groups as well. Now, what I love about dining on Royal Caribbean, or any cruise for that matter, is it's that perfect time to try new things. You're gonna have all your classics on the menu every day. If you want salmon, you want that shrimp cocktail, chicken, steak, you're gonna be able to get that every single day. But in addition to that, they're gonna have a rotating menu. And some of my favorite dishes that I've ever found, I first tried on a Royal Caribbean cruise. I may not order them on land because not 100% sure if I like, but you can dine as much as you'd like here. You can order multiple entrees. I've been known for 3, maybe even 4 entrees myself, multiple appetizers. It's really all about what you want, when you want. So once again, here is the American Icon Grill. Directly across is Silk, and then we're gonna head downstairs to check out the other 2 dining venues now. Now we just headed down that beautiful staircase right there, and we're at the lower level where you're gonna find 2 different dining venues. You've got the Grand on one side, and on the other you're gonna find Chic. Now today, really the only difference is the decor. So you can see as we head in, Chic has a little more upscale, very modern decor. The Grand is gonna have that more classic dining decor. But these are both the classic dining experiences. Now Royal Caribbean gives you that choice. You can pick My Time and dine up above, which means you can come between a set time, usually about 5:30 and 9 o'clock each and every single day. Or you can come down here and have the classic dining experience where you're gonna have early or late seating. You're gonna have the same waiter or waitress and bus person each and every single day. You can really get to know them, and you can really get to know your table mates. Now keep in mind, if you prefer a table for 2, maybe you're a couple traveling together, maybe you're a larger family and you want a table just for you, you can do that as well. But going on a cruise is a social experience, and it's a great way to meet new people as well. So you can choose, you'll tell your Harr travel advisor whether you want a table for 2, maybe a larger shared table as well. We'll let Royal Caribbean know, and then when you come in here and you dine, you're gonna find new guests, or of course, your favorite table for 2. Now the Quantum of the Seas spent quite a few years sailing in the Asian market, and I love that they've added these museum pieces in throughout. So as you head around the ship, in addition to all the modern art, make sure you keep your eye out for those as well. Now just forward of the Deck 3 dining rooms, you're gonna find the Casino Royale. If you enjoy gambling on your vacation, this is the spot for you. Now it's a really large space here. These are the staircases, just for point of reference, that would head up to the guest services area. And then as we head further back, you can see they have some high-end and some really unique gaming options in here. And as we head further in, you're gonna find all your favorite classics. They've got 3-card poker, blackjack. I love the idea that they have hand-dealt Texas Hold'em. In fact, last night we had quite a great game going here. Texas Hold'em table is just here to my right. You're gonna have roulette, you're gonna have craps, and then of course, all of your favorite digital casino games. I do love the idea that you still have the ones with the handles as well. To me, if I'm gonna play a slot machine, there's just something about pulling on that handle. Now, in addition to that, you're gonna have the full bar set just behind me. They'll provide bar service throughout the entire casino. You can come in, sit, and have a great social experience, or do a little bit of gambling. Now, as we head further back in the casino, you're gonna have a couple ATMs. I mentioned that up above. Anybody can utilize those throughout your time. And something that's really unique about this is as you continue further on, you're actually gonna head right into the music hall. You can go around it where you don't go into the music hall, or you can head right in, but this is how it all connects together. You can see as we head further along, it's a huge space. They've got a ton of different gaming options in here. Now keep in mind, you want to gamble responsibly. You can talk to any of the crew members if you're having an issue with that. But if you're here to have a little bit of fun, this is a great stop for your time here on board. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today here on board the beautiful Quantum of the Seas. This incredible ship has something for everyone, whether it's the amazing North Star heading up to the top to take advantage of those amazing views here in Alaska, the Seaplex Sports Complex, the Ripcord by iFly where you can go skydiving as you're heading into the glaciers, all the amazing dining venues, and of course, the incredible Royal Caribbean service and the crew that are the heart of the ship. Make sure you reach out to Harr Travel. We are your cruise experts. We know all the spaces inside and out, and we know that we can help craft the cruise vacation of a lifetime for you, your friends, family, or group at an incredible value, and get the Harr Travel signature service every step of the way. Now, when you're ready to make this view yours in a week, a month, a year, or even a few years in advance, make sure you get on our upcoming deployment list so you can pick the perfect room or suite for you before everybody else.